Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Cronin, Client Success Manager here at Mintel. I'm here today to give you a brief overview of Mintel's interactive data book. Now, you may all be familiar with just the regular data book that is included with each Mintel report. So if you download that Excel from the report homepage, what you get is an entire data book of all the raw consumer survey data from that category or from that report. So we can look at how the general US consumer responded, but then also take a look at a breakdown of those responses by different demographics. So age, gender, generation, a really good way to get to the data and the insights that you need to know for your project. Now, the interactive data book is where that raw consumer survey data lives online. So you don't download an Excel, you can go right into it from a couple different places. So let me share my screen so we can jump into that. So first, you'll see I'm on the frozen snacks Mintel report that was published in July 2020. So the first way to get to that interactive data book is highlighted right on this Mintel report homepage. You can see right here, the interactive data book is labeled. If we want to jump into it, we're going to click Go to Data Book. Before going into it, I'm going to show you another way you can jump into the interactive data book from the Mintel homepage. So instead of having to go to that Mintel report homepage, then jump into the interactive data book, we can instead come up here to analytics. This bar at the top may look different for you depending on your Mintel subscription. All these description and links down here are different Mintel products. Where the interactive data books are going to live is this consumer data tab. So if I click on it, we're going to be brought to a page with a list of Mintel report titles, all linked, but what they're going to do is bring us straight into the interactive data book. So right now we're looking at them chronologically. We can see all Mintel reports that have recently published, and if we scroll down, we can go back into the past. A quick way that I can get to the frozen snacks report specifically, I'll click this food filter so that we can kind of get rid of all the noise, get to exactly what we want to do, and here we are, frozen snacks. I'm going to click that link and go straight into their interactive data book. Going back to the frozen snacks Mintel report homepage, this interactive data book, so the other way we can get into it, has a drop down. So in case we want to get right into a specific topic or a specific survey question, we can click what we want to look at. So let's see here. I'm going to click on international cuisines and frozen snacks and then click go to data book. So again, this is where all the raw consumer survey data lives and different ways that we can manipulate the data depending on what we want to see. So right now we are in their interactive data book. It just scrolled us down to the question we wanted to see. I'm going to hover over this title and we can see exactly how the question was worded. So which of the following types of international cuisines would you like to see more of in a frozen snack option? And here is how the general US consumer responded. We can look at it in a graph form, a table form as well, if that's what we prefer. We can add this to a presentation or download this table if this is what we would like to look at. But the real strength of the interactive data book is, again, going to lie in this Explore Demographics button. Highlighted in blue, it's included on each survey question graph that you see here. So one more time, I'm going to click Explore Demographics, and this is where we can cut the data depending on what we want to see. So for this one, if, for example, we want to see how different generations responded to this question. So is there a difference in what Gen Z international cuisines they'd like to see versus Gen X, etc. So I'm going to go to this demographics dropdown. Every time you come in here, it defaults to age and gender, so I'm just going to uncheck those. Click generation. Make sure that drop down goes back up. And now we're looking at that exact consumer question and how the different generations responded. So we can see here baby boomers and Gen Z are quite different in their responses to Spanish cuisine. And then we can, again, manipulate this depending on what we want to see. So we can look at a graph format of this. If the specific project we're working on, we were only focusing on a couple responses, in this case, a couple different international cuisines, we can customize this graph and how we want to see it. And what I mean by that is if I click on none of the above, that response is going to disappear from my graph. If I'm not concerned as much about who responded with Caribbean, I'm going to click on that as well, and that will also disappear. I can add this graph to a presentation as well and download as a PowerPoint later on to use in my project. So again, a brief overview. If you ever needed more, another breakdown, you can click this Start Tour button on the left-hand side. But I also recommend if you have any other questions, please reach out to your account manager and they'll be sure to help you. Have a good one.